I'm a resident of Oak Crescent, Minnesota. I'd like to maybe take the conversation, if I could, especially consider we have some corporate representation, to a higher altitude for a minute. I'm hearing about funding, everything from funding and looking ahead 10 years to 8-track tapes. And that's good, and I understand that we need to look ahead and make the right decisions financially going ahead 10 years. But I would suggest that I don't think we have the opportunity to get it wrong. It's not just a profit and loss statement on Wall Street or privately held companies looking at how we can keep funding properly the communications industry. That industry is like a paper tiger through the jungle and has been for years in the way it subsidizes itself. What I would like to ask is that it's not just the amount to fund it, there's more and more America is looking to entrepreneurs. As the job market changes, and sir, you quite correctly said more and more people are looking at broadband or internet in their cars. A lot of people have their own companies. And I was just reading this morning, somebody sent me an article from Inc. magazine on my wireless device. Inc. magazine, Bill Clinton on how entrepreneurs can transform the country. And I just began to read it, and it talks all about broadband in Inc. magazine this month, and talking about how we basically can't afford to get it wrong. What analysis are we doing on how much we would lose if we don't get this right up in St. Paul? In other words, if we have lots of people in rural America or rural Minnesota who don't have proper access to internet, how much is that going to affect not just General Motors or Ford or Toyota, but smaller cheese companies or a milk company or a man or woman who are running a small business? How much are we going to court down their profit and loss and their ability to make money? So there's another dollar figure is what I'm suggesting, that we need to look at not just what we need to bring on for AT&T and the folks from La Crosse and other companies that are here to make sure we can upgird them in their profit and loss in shovel-ready projects, but it's also perhaps what could we stand to lose for having a couple in a house down, somewhere out in the sticks that can't get internet. What do we lose from that tax, that revenue, and their ability to hire maybe 5 employees? Geez, we can't get enough internet. It's affecting my ability to produce and to sell and to market, etc. So I would suggest that Governor Dayton and these committees and our legislatures, Representative Davids, go back to the drawing board and think, wait a second, we can't just think about what it is to shore up and how many millions we need to do this, but how much are we going to lose or gain if we get it wrong or right? Do you understand the premise of my question, or I'm trying to set you up to answer that?
I appreciate that. So you had one of your 2 grant projects here would have brought in about 33,000 connected homes. Let's talk about what that would have done for you and why we need to do this. And this is why I don't like to get political about this, because this isn't about who's going to win or lose. It's about bringing people back to our communities. It's about 33,000 homes. If they were connected, how many of those folks could have found a consulting job online? How many of those folks could have worked as customer service? How many of those folks could have started a job like I did? I started a business out of my living room. I had a great internet connection. We could make tutorials. We could upload those. That's the economic development. Here's the other thing, and I don't want to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not here to support AT&T, CenturyLink, or the big companies. I'm here to say you're part of my solution. I will find any way to use all of you to get more jobs to my communities and to get Representative David's rural community jobs. Because here's what we know. The fastest growing sector is the companies that are starting from 0 to 10 employees. Those are the fastest growing people. And here's what I found out. If you give somebody a job on Christmas, if they can buy their kids Christmas presents, you've done wonders for them economic developmentally. They're out spending money in the community, they're paying taxes, maybe they can buy a home. The second thing I learned is if you start a job or you start a small company in your community and they hire 10 people, that's 10 Christmases that are much better. I've been through that. I can tell you there's no better joy than sitting across a table from someone, and when they said to me, Ron, I can work from home, and for the first time I can buy my kids a Christmas present. That's pretty powerful. That's coming through our broadband connection. So I'm not here to fight anybody on this. I'm here, and you can ask these providers, I will use anybody and anything to get this broadband as fast as I can. Because you're absolutely right. The more homes we connect, the better. But I'm also telling you, we have obstacles. We have frost. We have private interests. We have limited resources. We have duplication of federal and state. All of that needs to be managed and fought for so that we can drive this as fast as we can. I can tell you, your frustration of this not happening fast enough is absolutely on target. Don't lose that frustration. Because what happens is, if we don't keep fighting for this and we don't keep pushing it, it's these rural counties that are suffering. I will tell you, I'm not a metro legislator. I'm a rural legislator. I've been doing that for many years. Representative Davis is many the same way. I hope I'm not speaking for you. But we care about our communities, we care about jobs, and we know this is a big part of that economic development piece. I hope that helps. That was a great question.
Yes.